Let's get right into it. Number 10. Passwords. Remember when passwords were simple? Like your dog's name and maybe your birth year if you were feeling fancy. Now your password needs more special characters than a Disney movie cast. It needs uppercase letters, lowercase letters, numbers, symbols, and probably your firstborn child's blood type. Your password needs to be at least 12 characters long, but not longer than 16. It can't contain sequential numbers, your username, or any words found in a dictionary. It must include at least one Egyptian hieroglyph and the square root of pi. And just when you've created the perfect password, you need to change it every 90 days. And you can't use any of your last 12 passwords, so people write them on sticky notes and stick them to their monitors. Or they use the same password everywhere with a different number at the end. Password 1, password 2, password 3. The irony is, all these complicated requirements actually made passwords less secure, because when you force people to create passwords they can't remember, they find ways to make them memorable, and humans are pretty predictable. The most common complex password is still password 123. The guy who invented many of these modern password rules, Bill Burr of the National Institute of Standards and Technology, actually apologized. In 2017, he admitted that he regrets much of his advice, saying it just drives users crazy. Number 9. Clothing sizes. Imagine walking into a store in the 1940s. You know exactly what size you are. No guessing games, no trying on 5 different sizes of the same pants. But then some genius in marketing had an idea. What if we make people feel skinnier by lying about the size? Back in the day, if you were a size 12, you were a size 12 everywhere. But then stores started playing mind games. They'd take that size 12 dress and slap a size 8 label on it. Now you're losing weight just by shopping at different stores. Today, a size 8 in one store could be a size 4 in another, or a size 12 somewhere else. Marilyn Monroe was famously a size 12 to 14 in the 1950s, but if she were shopping today, she'd be a size 6 to 8. Same body, different number. Some brands now have size 00, or even size 000, because apparently, regular 0 wasn't small enough. Men's pants sizes play the same game. That 34-inch waist is probably closer to 37 inches. They're literally adding inches to make you feel better about your dad bod. Online shopping returns have skyrocketed because nobody knows their actual size anymore. About 40% of all online clothing purchases get sent back. Your body didn't get weird. Clothing sizes did. Number 8. Clamshell packaging. In 1978, Thomas Lunsford invented clamshell packaging, those clear plastic cases that are basically Fort Knox for your USB drive. His goal was to stop shoplifting, but what he actually created was a device that turns normal people into rage monsters. These things are so hard to open that emergency rooms actually have a special category for clamshell-related injuries. People are literally ending up in the hospital trying to open their new scissors, which they probably bought to open other clamshell packages. There's even a psychological condition called wrap rage, for the anger you feel trying to open a package. These packages often come with scissors inside them, so you need scissors to open the package that contains the scissors you need to open packages. And while they're technically recyclable, most recycling centers won't take them because they're too much trouble to process, so they end up in landfills where they'll probably outlast human civilization. Future archaeologists will dig them up and think we worshipped some kind of clear, plastic deity that demanded blood sacrifices via sharp edges. Number 7. Airline boarding groups. In 1998, a United Airlines executive transformed airplane boarding forever. His idea was simple. Let window seat passengers board first to make things more efficient. This kicked off an airline arms race that created the chaos we see today. Now we have more boarding groups than Fast and Furious movies. There's Platinum Pro, Premium Plus, Elite, Diamond Medallion members, Gold, Silver, Bronze, Copper members, Basic Economy but you paid for Priority group, and finally, the you bought the cheapest ticket possible, so board last group. Airlines even manipulate the group numbers. American Airlines once renamed its Group 1 to Group 5 because people were angry seeing 4 other groups board before Group 1. But here's the crazy part. Studies show these complicated boarding methods actually make the process slower. The average boarding time increased from 15 minutes in the 1970s to 40 minutes today. The airlines know this system is slower, but they keep it because it makes them money. They sell priority boarding to anxious passengers who don't want to fight for overhead bin space. It's basically a protection racket. Nice carry-on you got there. Would be a shame if you had to gate check it. Number 6. Coffee orders. Coffee used to be simple. In 1980, you'd say, "Coffee, please. Black or cream?" Done. Then Howard Schultz, Starbucks' CEO, took a trip to Italy in 1983. He saw how Italians treated coffee as an experience, not just a caffeine delivery system. But instead of just copying Italian coffee culture, Starbucks created its own weird coffee language. Small, medium, and large became tall, grande, and venti. Then came endless customization options. You had to specify milk type: whole, 2%, non-fat, soy, almond, oat. Temperature became a science: extra hot, warm, or exactly 180 degrees. Syrups multiplied. Now people order a venti, quad shot, sugar-free vanilla, oat milk latte, extra hot, no foam, with a light caramel drizzle. The worst part is, it worked. Other coffee shops had to follow suit or risk looking basic. Now there are YouTube tutorials on how to order at Starbucks. We need tutorials to order a cup of coffee. All because one man took a vacation to Italy. Number 5. Dogs. About 15,000 years ago, all dogs looked pretty much the same. They were medium-sized, had pointy ears and furry tails. No chihuahuas with bulging eyes, no pugs struggling to breathe, just normal, healthy dogs. Then humans, specifically dog enthusiasts in the last couple of centuries, started breeding dogs for extreme traits, and things got weird. Take the German Shepherd. In 1900, they looked like normal, athletic dogs, but show dog breeders decided they'd look better with severely sloped backs. Now many show-line German Shepherds can barely walk properly. The English Bulldog used to be athletic enough to actually fight bulls. Now they can't even give birth naturally because their heads are too big. Most need C-sections. We bred pugs to have such flat faces that their eyeballs can literally pop out. The Cavalier King Charles Spaniel skulls have been bred to be so small that their brains are often too big for their heads, a condition called syringomyelia. It's like trying to fit a watermelon in a sandwich bag, causing many to live in constant pain. We took perfectly good dogs and turned them into breeds that can't breathe, can't give birth, and can't walk properly. Number 4. Best Buy dates. Back in the 1970s, executives at Marks & Spencer came up with a brilliant but evil idea. They started putting dates on food, not because it would go bad, but to help their staff rotate stock more effectively. It was an internal system. The idea spread, but now these dates aren't about stock rotation. And worse, they aren't regulated by any single government agency for safety. Companies can put whatever date they want. It's working perfectly for them. Americans throw out about 40% of their food supply. Most of this waste happens because people think Best Buy means we'll kill you by. But most foods are perfectly fine weeks or even months past the Best Buy date. Honey literally never goes bad. They found honey in Egyptian tombs that was still good after 3,000 years. Yet companies still put Best Buy dates on honey. It's like putting an expiration date on a rock. That date wasn't picked by a food safety scientist. It was picked by a marketing team trying to sell you more stuff. Number 3. The Parental Advisory Sticker. The Parental Advisory Sticker started with one person, Tipper Gore, in 1984. She bought her 11-year-old daughter a Prince album, Purple Rain, thinking it was just fun pop music. Then she heard the lyrics to Darling Nikki and nearly choked on her morning coffee. Tipper formed the Parents Music Resource Center, or PMRC. They created a list of songs they deemed inappropriate, called the Filthy 15. This led to Senate hearings where musicians had to defend their work. Dee Snider from Twisted Sister showed up in full rock star mode. Frank Zappa told them they were being ridiculous. Even John Denver appeared to warn them about censorship. After all the drama, their solution was simple: a black and white sticker saying, "Parental Advisory, explicit content." But this warning label had the opposite effect. It made albums more popular. Every teenager specifically started looking for albums with that sticker. Record companies noticed this trend and started using the sticker as a marketing tool. That Prince album that started the whole controversy? It went on to sell over 25 million copies. Number 2. The Phillips head screw. Imagine it's the 1930s, and you've got a simple slotted screw. It's a metal stick with a single slot on top. Along comes Henry Phillips, who looks at car assembly lines and thinks he can improve things by making the screw deliberately complicated. His cross-shaped design was actually meant to be annoying. When you apply too much force with a screwdriver, it cams out. It slips out of the screw head. This was a feature, not a bug. Back then, they didn't have fancy torque-limiting screwdrivers, so Phillips made the screw itself limit the torque by making the driver slip out when it was tight enough. The automotive industry loved it. General Motors was one of the first major customers because it stopped their assembly line workers from over-tightening screws and damaging the cars. Soon, everyone was using Phillips head screws. The irony is, we now have better tools that can control torque, but we're still using this intentionally flawed design. Every time you strip a Phillips head screw, remember it was designed to do exactly that. Number 1. Diamond engagement rings. Back in the day, getting engaged meant exchanging a simple ring or token of affection. Then the De Beers Diamond Company came along in 1938. They were sitting on a mountain of diamonds and needed a way to sell them. So they hired an advertising agency and created the most successful marketing campaign in history. They invented the idea that a diamond ring is a symbol of eternal love. Their slogan, "A diamond is forever," wasn't just catchy. It was psychological warfare. They convinced people that the size and cost of the diamond represents how much you love someone. De Beers literally made up the rule that you should spend months of salary on an engagement ring. But diamonds aren't even that rare. De Beers created a monopoly to control the global supply, keeping prices artificially high. They would rather let diamonds sit in a vault than flood the market and watch prices drop. Until De Beers' campaign, the most popular engagement ring stone in many places was the sapphire. Now people go into debt just to buy a ring. The 4 C's, cut, clarity, color, and carat, were popularized by De Beers to create a new language just to make you spend more money. This ancient tradition isn't ancient at all. It's just a marketing campaign that's younger than your grandparents. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.